unorganized here, to be quite honest. I haven't really been told anything, and I'm standing right near customer service. I am standing up, ready to hear any good news, but they haven't been delivering anything. No news, good or bad.
All right. Caitlin Darrow, we appreciate your time so much, and we're hoping that things happen faster for you. The problem, too, is it's not like she can rent a car and drive, and it's going to be tough.
Let's take a look at that close-up Sky Tracker again, the plane tracker, because I want to tell you that the next 3 planes, in case you're waiting for someone to come in, Pontiac, Michigan has landed, so we know another plane flying at low altitude has landed. There's a plane from LAX in line to make a landing right now at ORD. There's also a flight from Fort Myers, Florida that's right behind it. I don't have those flight numbers for you, but I do have their original destination. So we know that there is a trickle of flights that are coming in. We have not seen flights leaving that area yet. And of course, we're on this story like no one else can be on the Weather Channel this morning. If you're traveling, stay with us. We'll get you the updated information.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with light rain. Today, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 78. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Here's a good one, Seattle. What did Geico say to the mariner? We could save you a boatload. But what's Seattle's favourite noise? The Puget Sound. All right, never mind. Don't matter. This is a classic. What does an alien seamstress sew with? A space needle. Oh, come off it, Captain.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
From restoring damage in just one room to an entire building, turn to the cleanup team that's here in your community and here to help at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
Let's do some fancy footwork. Tap into new territory with style. Step up the savings and learn some new moves. Yeah, let's tango. Here, even here. Then, let's take a bow. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Get a designer look for less. Traffic Master hand scrape laminate is now 99 cents per square foot.
Right on cue.
It's more than just a meal. It's Meow Mix Mealtime. With great taste and 100% complete nutrition, it's the only one cats ask for by name.
I got one shot. Let's go twins right, 24 stretch.
24 stretch, all diamond. Twins right, 24 stretch. All diamonds on 280.
When the game's on the line.
Hit them with a hard count. See if they'll tip their hand.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
They're blitzing up the gut. Get out of the pocket.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Am I missing a deadline? Will I get there in time? Am I going too fast? Did I close the garage door? Stay in your lane. I don't think I sent that email. I should make a reservation. I thought it was clear. Okay, break. I didn't see that coming.
Its instinct to protect leaves you free to drive. Lease the Infiniti Q50 for $339 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Admit it, you never thought you'd see this day. The day you could walk without shooting pain in your back. all because you took the first step and had surgery at Laser Spine Institute, the experts in outpatient minimally invasive neck and back surgery. All it takes is an incision less than 1 inch and you'll be up and walking within a few hours of surgery, and there is no lengthy recovery. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic conditions, call today for a free MRI review.
I woke up in recovery and there was absolutely no pain at all. It's amazing. Now I can get on the bike, I can go anywhere. The Laser Spine Institute gave me my life back. I'm still going strong today because of them.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-855-537-STEP for a free MRI review.
Go from a life of pain to a lifetime of living. Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery.
30 minutes after the hour, we're following breaking news that we broke right here on the Weather Channel this morning. We know how important we are to you if you're traveling across the nation, if you're in a hotel room or at home. You check your Weather Channel before you leave the door for the airport. That's, of course, important. So you heard first off this morning that there was a ground stop at all Chicago airports. Let's check in with Ana Renes Rodriguez. We do have a trickle in of some landings going on at O'Hare right now, but let's recap the situation from this morning.
5:40 a.m. Central Time, emergency crews respond to reports of a fire in the basement of an air control facility. They also find a man with an apparent self-inflicted wound. There are reports that this fire could have been intentionally set. As a result, ground stop of all air travel in and out of O'Hare and Midway. Right now, we've noticed a few flights have been allowed to land at O'Hare Airport. FAA, no planes can cross the Midwest until 10 a.m. That's the latest advisory. And we do know that this is the second time in 4 months that an emergency at an FAA radar facility has forced airlines to halt flights at Midway and O'Hare. At that point, that was in May, more than 1,000 flights were canceled. Right now, we know that nearly 400 flights have been canceled in and out of that region.
Mayor Rob Emanuel calling and proudly calling this airport the busiest in the world. We do know that a United Airlines flight 727 from Fort Myers has now landed at Chicago O'Hare. CPA is the airline. Mark flight 2081 from LA has also landed at this time. The very first flight in that we could see was a flight from Tokyo this morning that landed, and we know that flight was in the air for a little while.
And we were commenting how great the weather is in Chicago. It's not weather related at all, but we do want to give you an update on all things happening across the country when it comes to planning your weekend weather-wise. And Mike, it's storms back in the forecast in the southeast.
It is, so maybe if you have some travel plans here across the Gulf Coast, especially in the state of Florida, could be very impactful for us here beginning today and then lasting right through your weekend and beyond, unfortunately. All right, let's run through what's happening for us in the atmosphere right now that's going to cause the showers and the rain. Here's a look at the available moisture in the atmosphere. What I really want you to focus on are the pink colors and the red colors in the map here in the central and eastern Gulf, and all that moisture is really going to pump its way northbound through the weekend, through Saturday and then Sunday. Look where the pinks are now. It's I-20, it's I-10, very high moisture content here in the atmosphere. There's your surface low that develops along with a warm front. So there's a bit of your trigger. What it means is a non-stop flow of rain, unfortunately. Tomorrow's forecast is wet along I-10 from New Orleans, where we'll have some showers, all the way through Mobile and Pensacola into Tallahassee and Jacksonville. Going into Sunday, everything shifts a little bit farther northbound, especially through Alabama, Montgomery, and Birmingham. We have showers coming our way. Heavier thunderstorms now. Atlanta, into the upstate of South Carolina, Charlotte and Asheville, right into Columbia, South Carolina. Monday is your prime day for the heaviest rain that you'll see, and still some storms that linger here across Florida. So a very wet setup for us, especially in North Florida. Big bullseye, by the way, on Mobile and Pensacola for 3 to 5 inches of rain through Tuesday. Heavy rainfall for us as well in places like Wilmington, North Carolina, down through Charleston, South Carolina. And then you work your way up through the tri-state area here around Kingsport. We'll have some heavy rain as well, but wouldn't leave out a location like Nashville, Tennessee. The mid-state here will get plenty of rain. Atlanta, you've had a very dry September so far, but here's a look at our forecast. Today and tomorrow, very pleasant days, mid-70s to right around 80 degrees. But Sunday, the skies unload on us. Monday is our big day for rain. Temperatures right around 70 degrees with showers. And Atlanta, here's a look at how dry it's been. Average month to date would be about 3.5 inches of rain. How much have you had so far this year since September 1st? Just over ½ an inch. So you have a big departure here. Your lawn may be drying up a bit. This will help that, but it won't help your weekend, especially beginning on Sunday. Very wet across much of the southeast, spreading northbound into the Carolinas. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Mike. We continue to travel or follow the travel troubles that are going on in America's heartland this morning. We'll show you the FlightAware tracker, the flight tracker. Nationally, you can see the planes that are in the air this morning, and we had a completely clear space in the area marked off in red. That's the area that was being controlled by the building that had the suspicious fire in the basement. And so they were not able to get any flights in and out. We now know that there's a trickle of flights that are landing right now. Tokyo Air is landing a plane next. We also have a flight landing from Charlottesville next, so we continue to watch them trickle in. That's very good news. We'll be right back.
It's not every day that you find yourself at the corner of a little flu shot and a world of difference. When you get any immunization at Walgreens, you'll help provide a life-saving vaccine to a child in a developing country through the UN Foundation's Shot at Life campaign. Thanks to customers like you, last year we helped supply 3 million vaccines to children in need. This year, help give even more. It's easy at Walgreens. Simply get a shot and give a shot. At the corner of happy and healthy.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods.
Are you serious?
Where we'll teach them not just to survive,
Joe makes fire,
but how to truly live.
Look at this caveman.
Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Every Sunday night on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready?
Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with light rain. Today, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 78. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Lowe's presents How to Make Your Guests Think They're at the Wrong House.
Wow. Told you we're in the wrong house.
Go. Mom!
Pergo Max Laminate Flooring, now just $249 per square foot.
Ted, Hut, you up for the challenge, Suds Maker? I'm gonna need more than that to get through the rest of these dishes. I want more Suds. Dawn, you won't last.
A drop of Dawn Ultra has active suds that stay stronger longer, so you can clean 2 times more greasy dishes to get the job done.
You're full of suds after all. Now drop and give me 20 spaghetti bowls.
Dawn does more.
So it's not a chore.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway.
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Now you can merge the physical freedom of the car with the virtual freedom of Wi-Fi. Chevrolet, the first and only car company to bring built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi to cars, trucks.
Oh, I love Pet Day. You guys are just 2 big softies.
Cut it out.
Look at these guys. Oh, you. I love these guys.
Oh, they've just unlocked our channels for a week.
Oh, and they've just made it free.
Looks like it's Xfinity Free Channel Week. We've unlocked a collection of channels on TV and Xfinity On Demand like Encore, Nick Jr., and Disney XD. Totally free for a week. Learn more at xfinity.com/free channel week.
That's why I'm a cat guy.
You let the truth slip out, cheeks began to glow. And you can't take it back, but I'm glad you let it go. And it's gonna be good for you. It's gonna be good. Oh, so good.
Discover your happy place. Let's discover today.
5 screenings for $149. Call now at 800-393-7147.
See why the buzz on Fat Guys in the Woods, the Weather Channel's hit survival series, is getting bigger and bigger. Victory! A new episode Sunday night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
52 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to AMHQ. We are entering hour 3 of a massive halt to air traffic happening in one of the world's busiest airports on a Friday morning. We do know that about 3 hours ago, reports of a fire inside an air-controlled traffic facility grounded air travel there. We have reports of a man with a self-inflicted wound. They're attending to that situation at this moment. We do know that the FAA is reporting 9 minutes ago that they're almost ready to end the ground stop for O'Hare. Many route options are opening up for flights at this point. More than 400 flights canceled as a result of this emergency. Southwest, which operates the majority of the flights at Chicago Midway, confirming that they would be grounded at least until noon. As we can see, this is a flight from Tokyo that landed moments ago while we were on air.
All right, so Enarys, let's just double check that. So you're saying that there is some information that they are thinking soon they'll be lifting at least part of that ground stop.
You know, we've been scouring the conversation on Twitter. We're getting a lot of social pictures from lines inside the airport, people stranded, people not being allowed to get on their connecting flights. This airport serves a lot of those connecting flights. FAA ATC update 9 minutes ago from AirLiveNet saying that they're almost ready to end ground stop for O'Hare.
All right, let's show you some, actually we have our first departing flight out of Midway this morning, and that is going right now. You see the blue arrow coming, or the blue right there coming out. That is the first one since this started that we've been able to get a plane out. This is very good news. Catherine, tell me one more time where this flight is going to? Going to Cincinnati. So it's almost like collaring a lottery right now. The lucky winner is Cincinnati, taking off from Chicago's O'Hare Airport this morning. We have some flights landing. The trickle of landing flights, that happened first because they were able to take lower altitude flights, bring them in, space them out a little bit, and bring them in at lower altitude flights. JAL 10 from Tokyo is landing. SKW 2642 from Charlottesville is landing. TCF 3498 from Indy is landing. As you're seeing some live images from Chicago O'Hare, and we all know, as we frequently travel, that in the best of times, if your gate is moved, you feel like you don't have information in the airport, like no one is really attending to you. So we've been talking to people who were lined up at the counters, trying to get information and basically just waiting for anything. You've got, if you put a couple hundred people in an airplane, you've got thousands of people in the airport right now trying to figure out where they're going.
Think of the chaos at a customer service desk when there's one flight canceled or two, but you've got hundreds canceled, thousands of passengers. All right, we've been keeping track of the weather, of course, here on AMHQ. We want to get you an update on the tropics because still very active, especially in the Eastern Pacific, Mike.
Indeed, it has been. So we're going to update you what's been going on in the tropics, and it does include a little bit of activity in the Pacific and a little entity that we are watching in the Atlantic. It's about 55 past the hour. You always get your update at this time of year. There are the two entities that we're following, including Tropical Storm Rachel with winds at 50 miles per hour right now. It's a long way away from land, about 400 miles away from the southern tip of Baja California. And the initial track on this for the next day or maybe day and a half keeps it well away from land. But notice there's a bit of a turn there in the forecast track at the end. Fairly weak system, about 40 mile per hour system, but could that have some impact here on Baja California or bring in at least a moisture source into the southwest going into the weekend? That's a possibility. But the active Eastern Pacific hurricane season continues. 17 named storms so far this season. That makes it the third busiest on record. And keep in mind, we still have October and November to go. Still 2 more months in the season. And it's been a tale of 2 seasons, the Eastern Pacific and the Atlantic. The Atlantic Basin, only 5 named storms so far this season. 4 of those have been hurricanes. 1 of them has been a tropical storm. That's Dolly. But it's been a far cry from what we've had in the Eastern Pacific, that's for sure. Look at this. In total, 11 hurricanes in the Eastern Pacific and just 4 in the Atlantic Basin. Taking a look at the Atlantic Basin in particular, the number of named storms we've had over the last decade. We had the epic record-setting 2005 season where through the end of September we had 17 named storms. Compare that to where we are this year, 5. The slowest season we've had in 10 years. The average, by the way, to date is 11, so we're less than half of that. Again, there's the entity that we're following. It's Invest 96L. As far as what the forecast is, about a 10% chance that this could become our next named storm, according to the National Hurricane Center. The models are forecasting this to go a little bit farther westbound here, maybe a bit of a northerly jog here at this point. It is not a threat to land. It is small. It is weak. We'll keep an eye on it. But at this point, if you do have a weekend getaway to Puerto Rico or the Virgin Islands, I still think you're in mighty fine shape. And that's Look at Your Tropics. Back over to the team.
All right, Mike, thank you. We'll continue our live coverage into the next hour here on AMHQ. Special coverage of the breaking news out of Chicago. The ground stop. Word is that they may be ready to lift it, but that is too late for a lot of passengers stuck at O'Hare and Midway and countless others waiting for that plane so that they can get to their destination. We'll have all the latest information coming into our newsroom coming up in 60 seconds.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with light rain. Today, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 78. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Top of the hour to you. Good morning and welcome to an expanded version of AMHQ, America's Morning Headquarters. I'm Sam Champion, Maria LaRosa, Ana Ritis Rodriguez. Mike Bettis is here as well. We're going to get you caught up on all the weather information you need to start your day and get ready for your weekend. But we're following some breaking news this morning, and that was an early morning reported fire and ground stop. All air traffic out of Chicago had been stopped for a period of time. Let's get caught up with Ana Ritis Rodriguez on what we know this morning. Good morning, Ana Ritis.
Good morning, Sam. Just 10 a.m. Eastern, about 8 a.m. Central, around 5:40 Central Time. We do know of a report of a fire inside the basement of an air traffic control facility at Chicago O'Hare that resulted in a ground stop of all flights in and out of Chicago O'Hare. We know now that the FAA has issued the latest alert 18 minutes ago saying that they're almost ready to end the ground stop for all flights. This is the second time since May that an emergency has halted air travel in one of the world's busiest airports, Sam.
We've been talking to people on planes. We've been talking to people in airports. And now let's go to the FAA. Retired Command Supervisor Ricky Bell with the FAA, formerly with the FAA, now retired. Hey, good morning, Ricky. Let's find out from you exactly what's going on. Now, have you heard anything about them lifting the ground stop? I know we've seen some flights trickling in as landing. We've seen one flight come out from Chicago this morning as a departure. What were you hearing, Ricky? Good morning.
Good morning. What's going on is they are working out slowly opportunities for flights to arrive into the Chicago airports via low level without having to go into the center's airspace. The center's airspace can typically control airplanes up at 18,000 feet. Well, they work in low level to get those flights that are currently close in from close-in airports like Indianapolis, St. Louis, Cleveland, Detroit, that they can stay out of the center's airspace. That's why you're seeing some airplanes land. As far as the departures out of Chicago and Midway, they're doing the same thing. They're staying out of the center's airspace. Chicago TRACON doing a tremendous job in working these airplanes low level, handling them off to other air traffic control facilities. So you will see some movement. The major problem is flights from the West Coast and the East Coast that traverse through Chicago Center's airspace are being rerouted. My former colleagues at the National Air Traffic Command Center are working airplanes around Chicago Center's airspace, and that's where the biggest problem is when you see the Chicago Center ground stop.
Right. Hey, Ricky, and let me just ask you this. If something like that is shut down, is there a second office? Is there something that's nearby? Is there redundancy, another group of people that can pick this up in a matter of hours? Or if that office, if there was a small fire in that office, that's it until that office is fixed? Can you help me with that one?
Yes, they do have contingency plans, but that takes a few minutes to put into motion. They do have the facilities that are right around Chicago Center, like Minneapolis Center, Cleveland Center, Indianapolis Center, and Kansas City, that will take over the airspace, but that requires a lot of coordination, and that will happen if it becomes a problem where they think it's going to last all day. They will not let it last all day. They'll take that airspace. The approach controls, the TRACONs, will assume some of the center's airspace and move it around. And like I said, the command center will move the flights that typically go through Chicago Center that do not land within the Chicago Center's airspace, i.e. a plane out of New York's JFK Airport that's going to Los Angeles may typically go through Chicago Center's airspace. They'll reroute it north of Chicago Center or south of Chicago Center, which puts a lot of demand on the other centers, but they will work through that.
Absolutely, and we just showed a graphic as you were explaining it, Ricky, that helped me understand it even better. So Class A airspace is very, very high. We're talking about above the clouds. Usually that's the traffic that's going over Chicago, and the Class B airspace is a little bit lower, and we're allowing some of those low elevation flights to land and depart, and because they're being handled very carefully, and they're being handled one-on-one. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, sir. Ricky Bell, retired command supervisor with the FAA. We thank you so much for joining us this morning just to talk a little bit and get some clarity and understanding on how this would work. And Aris, we have some information on the lines this morning.
We have some live pictures to show you of all the lines that are accumulating inside the airport at this moment. A lot of people trying to get out to their final destination. What we do know so far that as of 8:30 Central Time, 430 flights had been canceled at O'Hare, 395 delayed. This is according to Flight Stats, which collects data from airports and airplanes. All flights in and out of O'Hare in the last 3 hours halted after a fire broke out at a radar facility in Aurora, Illinois. At Midway, nearly 100 flights have been canceled and nearly 40 flights delayed. The Federal Aviation Administration saying no planes in the United States destined to cross the Midwest would be allowed to depart until at least 10 a.m. Central Time. It's 10 a.m. Eastern Time at the moment.
Right, and that means that flights that were supposed to go through that airspace were also being held at other airports. So we know there's been a ripple effect across the country this morning. Weather Channel's been on this all morning long. We've been showing you the pictures from the first time it happened, from the very first tweet that suspected that there may have been a little bit of smoke in that center, to showing you the 15 to 30 people that were evacuated from that building, 15 to 30 employees evacuated from that FAA building, one person with smoke inhalation, one person with what is being described as a self-inflicted wound. So of course there's an investigation into this as well. We've seen the fire trucks. There's been a large police presence, and at that point all planes were stopped from Chicago going in or out. Since then, just within the last hour, certainly within the 9 o'clock Eastern Time, we've seen some flights landing in Chicago's airport, and we've seen 1 or 2 flights trickle out. We just saw another one come out. Catherine, do we have any information on what that last flight that came out? Maria, do you know?
Yeah, we have word of 2. One was the Cincinnati flight, and we have another one that left for Portland, Oregon, 1 out of Midway, 1 out of Chicago. So right now, just 2 that we know of at this point.
And we have talked to FAA Command Supervisor, retired Ricky Bell, who had said that there is a way for them to shift all of this responsibility to other offices, but that would take an enormous amount of time and an effort to do so. So they'll be trying to figure out whether they can get this command center up and running. They will not allow this to happen all day, he said. Ricky Bell told us that if it looks like they cannot get the center back and operational, they will start to shift the responsibilities to other centers this morning so that it will not leave an all-day effect at an airport like Chicago.
And coming up, we're going to obviously talk about what all those folks there are going to have to deal with. Passenger rights. What are your options right now? What can you do sitting at home knowing you're waiting for a loved one? What can you tell them as their next step? Because we're also hearing that passengers are not being offered stayovers in hotels. So what are your rights? What can you do next? That's coming up. We're going to bring in some folks to talk about that.
Surprisingly, we heard this from a young woman who was in the airport this morning who told us the airlines were telling them they were not going to put them up if they had to stay all night because they said it was a natural event. And so our question will be this morning, and of course we'll find the authorities to ask it to, if this is a natural event, it goes under the category of a thunderstorm that they can't control. All right, so we'll find out more about that. We're also going to be talking to people who are on airplanes this morning and in airports. We'll get you all the answers and get you ready for your day as well as your forecast this morning on AMHQ. We continue.
Nexium, the purple pill, is now available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Because the best moments in life aren't experienced from the sidelines. Now, there's nothing holding you back. This is Nexium Level Protection, the #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, now without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
I will embrace change. Everything life throws my way. Except for frown lines. Those I'm thrown back.
Olay Total Effects. Nourishing vitamins and 7 beautiful benefits in one for younger looking skin. Olay, your best beautiful.
I'm not an airbrush kind of girl. I just want to look it.
Olay Total Effects Pore Minimizing CC Cream. Colors, corrects, instantly reduce the look of pores in 80% of women. Olay, your best beautiful.
Sunday night, only the Weather Channel drops you into nature's deadliest predicaments and asks, so you think you'd survive black ice? A new original series that puts you to the test. Oh my God! So you think you'd survive? Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with light rain. Today, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 78. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
On AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Andrew. Rita. Sandy. Meet Chris. Jackie. Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
Hi, can I help you?
I'm looking for a phone plan. It has to be a great one, and I don't compromise.
Okay, how about 10 gigs of data to share, unlimited talk and text, and you can choose from 2 to 10 lines.
Wow, sounds like a great deal. So, I'm getting exactly what I want then.
Appears so.
Now, I'm not too sure what to do with my arms right now, because this is where I usually start throwing things.
Oh, that's terrifying.
AT&T's best ever pricing. 2 to 10 lines, 10 gigs of truly shareable data, unlimited talk and text, starting at $130 a month.
10 minutes after the hour, welcome back to AMHQ. We continue to cover the fire at a control center and evacuation due to smoke in the FAA in the Chicago area, controlling Chicago Midway airports. All travel had been stopped at one point. Now we're beginning to see a trickle of flights in. Delta pilot is telling the passengers on board that O'Hare is giving priority to international long-haul flights. They are currently in a queue to take off, and planes are being allowed to take off if they're going under 10,000 feet. We spoke with a former FAA employee who is telling us now that these lower elevation flights are being handled one by one, and they're being handled individually, and so they're allowing them to take off in a very spaced pattern and to land.
And you can see all of the passengers lining up, trying to get their place in line for customer service. You can imagine the chaos right now. So that got us thinking, what are passenger rights? What are you entitled to? What do you do next? So joining us now is travel expert Mark Murphy, author of Travel Unscripted. And we appreciate your time this morning, Mark.
Sure thing. So what are passenger?
What can you do? What can you even begin to do at this point?
Well, the first thing you could have done was book with a travel agent, and that travel agent would have already been going through the process of getting you either rebooked if you were on a connection, or making sure you were on one of the first flights out, if at all possible, as opposed to having you stand in line like everybody else that did it themselves. And I think that's an important distinction out of the gate. The second thing is the airlines, when it's outside of their control, something like this, they have no obligation to accommodate you or to compensate you. Their only obligation is to get you on the road on the next available plane. And that could be, because of the domino effect, further down the line. You may be waiting all day, maybe even into tomorrow, because a small delay can lead to massive delays across the airline system.
All right. So, Mark, I mean, you mentioned that, book with a travel agent, and a travel agent could have been working with you. But quite honestly, you know the business very well, and very few people are booking with travel agents now. It's easier for me to just book online.
I got to correct you. 40% of domestic airline tickets and 60% of international airline tickets are booked by travel agents.
40% certainly isn't the majority. So what do I do if I'm standing in the airport and I mean, just help me. Tell me what to do. If I booked it online, what am I supposed to do now?
You are standing in line with everybody else. I would have my phone up to my ear, calling the reservations folks, trying to get online there, not just standing in line 100 deep. And I would find out what my next available flights are. I would certainly be looking online at what those next available flights are. And I may think about doing a different routing, which the airlines would be more than happy to not hit you with the change fee, but they may still hit you with a difference in fare. So it may cost you a lot more unless you stay on that normal route. Each airline has its own policies. So those airlines are going to decide individually how they're going to get you on the way, and whether they're going to hit you with fees, difference in fares if you wish to change your routing.
All right, and let me ask you this. So let's say that I want to approach the desk with some kind of authority. Does it help if I have a mile card with them? Does it help if I have status on the plane in a situation like this? Or is everybody at a situation like this just basically showing up equal to the desk?
You're not equal. So in other words, if you're at the chairman level or the platinum level, one of these high flyers, guys that fly for business every week, you're the most valuable customer, not the person who travels once a year in the back of the plane. So you are going to get priority. You are probably going to get rerouted. You already have a different phone number that you can call that the average customer can't call. So there's absolutely a priority when it comes to that. And you will be first in line to get moved. And in some cases, you've automatically been rebooked by the airlines through the process to get you on your way.
That is something that I didn't know. Mark Murphy, Travel Unscripted, appreciate your time. So the key is to flash that frequent flyer card and get on the phone right now.
New information. We're talking to flyers in just a moment. We'll be right back on AMHQ.
Presenting luxurious savings at Ace. What? Save $7 instantly now through Sunday on gallons of Valspar Optimus, our most premium paint.
Ace is a place to help the hardware folks.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop. Let's go base, shark, blitz. Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is
TheraFlu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. TheraFlu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. TheraFlu, serious power.
Here's to the man who truly is the best of us.
Who really has the key to the city? With best-in-class payload and best-in-class cargo capacity and an unsurpassed powertrain warranty, you run the town. The all-new Ram ProMaster. Guts, glory, Ram.
Yoplait Light is now better than ever. It still melts in your mouth with 90 calories and is now aspartame-free. Yoplait Light. It is so good, it's better than ever.
Some people have to travel for work.
I love a good buttery Chardonnay.
Some people get to travel for work.
Not too oaky. I don't love the oaky. Just the buttery.
Sometimes it's the little things that make a big difference. Courtyard. Make room for a little fun.
I'm going for a dip. Did you bring your suit? No?
Sunday night, only the Weather Channel drops you into nature's deadliest predicaments and asks, so you think you'd survive black ice? A new original series that...
As women, we always talk about how we should look or what's the best way to lose weight. But for me, it finally became all about how I feel. No tricks, just me. I looked in the mirror and I saw what I didn't want to see, the truth. I was 50 pounds overweight. It was a rough day. That's when I decided I had to lose weight. So I chose the only simple option for me, Nutrisystem.
Check out Nutrisystem's Little Black Dress Kit. Now you can lose weight fast. Lose 5 pounds in your first week or your money back guaranteed.
I lost 50 pounds.
Order your 28-day My Way plan right now, including the Little Black Dress Kit. Get 1 week of specially selected meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes free, and 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes free, and start slimming your belly.
So why do I keep telling you about Nutrisystem? Because it works, and I know it'll work for you.
Call 877-924-SIZE and lose your first 5 pounds fast with the Little Black Dress Kit.
And shipping is always free.
Visit DealDash.com and start bidding today.
Weather Geeks, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with light rain. Today, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 78. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
"19 minutes after the hour right here on AMHQ. You're looking at some live pictures out of Chicago this morning. We've been covering both of Chicago's airports, just 2 of the airports that were a part of this ground stop, this shutdown, when there was a reported fire in one of the FAA control buildings. So we have now gotten some information. There are some flights trickling out and trickling into O'Hare. Maria, you have some other information for folks this morning as well.
That's right. So that's a live picture. Looks not too bad, right? You know, but inside you have all the lines. But we are starting to see some flights begin to come in. We have one coming in from Dallas. This is to Chicago's O'Hare, Erie, and Indy. Those flights are also inbound, but also now Milwaukee. We're talking about the affected airspace. There was also a slowdown at Milwaukee. Well, we're seeing flights from Toronto to Milwaukee come in now, so they are also now accepting flights. And you're looking live. And this is, at the runways of O'Hare. Of O'Hare, okay. So you can see all of the gates, too, with the planes
Yeah, the
parked.
gates are just stacked, and we know that there's very few planes going in and going out. We've been told that basically they have to stay at low altitude to go in or come out and be handled very carefully, kind of by hand, almost like a boutique operation running it now, where they know each and every plane, where it is and how it comes in. It has to come in low in order for it to be handled right there at Chicago O'Hare this morning. Let's get to Cheryl Huggins, who is stranded at O'Hare this morning. Cheryl, good morning. I know we've got kind of a weak connection with you, but do we have you this morning? All right, we just lost her. Had her a minute ago, so we'll try to reach Cheryl again. She's one of the passengers that was stranded at O'Hare this morning. Her flight was actually to Washington, D.C. We've spoken with a couple of passengers this morning. All of them described themselves as early travelers trying to get on a 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. flight. Those flights were, of course, some of the first to not take off, and they were kind of rerouted and brought back into the airport this morning. Let's try Cheryl one more time, because I understand she was trying to call in. Cheryl Huggins, are you with me, lady?
I am.
Hey, nice to see you. Thank you for thanks for getting to us. So Cheryl, am I right that you're at O'Hare now and you were kind of trying to get to DC? First of all, am I right with that?
You are absolutely right. I was trying to get down for the Congressional Black Caucus ALC, and I'm still here in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, walk me through how your morning went. Let's just talk about when you first found out that flights weren't going as planned, and how good has the information been to you since then?
Well, I got to tell you, the first time I found out was I was actually on the flight, and we were about to pull away, and the pilot came on and told us that there had been a fire at the air traffic control system. So that we were going to pull away, we were going to get in line to take off, but he had no guarantees as to when we would take off or what would happen. And so we did that, and we stood on the tarmac for about an hour, and then he said he was taking us back to the gate. And then when we got there, again, we did see what happened. And I really got the impression that they were just getting information, that they were open about giving it to us as they got it, but they didn't have a lot of information. So we get back in, and then there are just lines everywhere. And everyone's got to rebook by hand, and they've just got to see where they can put us and when they can put us. And so I was in line for another hour, and to find out that they wanted to send me to Hartford, I managed to get them to send me to Baltimore. And I'm about to leave on that flight, hopefully. But to tell you the truth, we still don't have information that flights have been released yet, or that the problem at the air traffic controllers has been contained. I'm actually hoping to hear some news, from you all, whether or not that fire is over, because, we're just sitting here, really.
Yeah, and Cheryl, we're going to deliver that. We've got 15 seconds before we have to go to break. I'll tell you that if you want to stay with us. We'll tell it to you on the air. If you want in the break, I'll fill you in on everything we know. Thank you for filling folks in this morning on what your experience was, and we will give you the details of that fire and the flights when we come back.
Are we still on for tomorrow?
Tomorrow is full of promise.
We can come back tomorrow.
And we promise to keep it that way. CSX, how tomorrow moves.
What a day.
Can't wait till tomorrow.
You guys are good to go? Let me just get this out here. Unlike some places, we don't just change your oil. Our oil offer comes with a 4-tire rotation and a 27-point inspection. And everything looked great.
Actually, could you leave those in?
Sure. Want me to run them through the car wash for you, too? No, I can't.
Get our everyday price match guarantee plus a $100 rebate on 4 select tires from your tire experts. Chevy Certified Service.
Like in the class. Having a baby isn't going to be that hard. You didn't read the book.
I read some.
You didn't read it. It's all about being prepared. Proper nutrition, keeping the romance alive.
Level 7.
And setting a good example.
Daddy's trying.
We are so ready for this.
Life can surprise you, so can an Allstate agent. From savings on a new car to discounts on a great car seat, the good hands are doing more than ever before.
Some people don't have allergies every night, just on allergy nights. That's why there's new Vicks ClearQuil for Night, the powerfully effective take it only when you need it so you can have a good night allergy medicine.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway.
TheraFlu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. TheraFlu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. TheraFlu, serious power.
Ameriprise asks people a simple question. In retirement, will you outlive your money?
No, that can't happen. That's the thing. I mean, you don't know how long it has to last.
Everyone has retirement questions, so Ameriprise created the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. Now you and your Ameriprise advisor can get the real answers you need.
Well, knowing gives you confidence.
Start building your confident retirement today.
Was a hungry road that ate up tires, wearing down tread and wearing out safety. Then along came the Michelin Man, who got drivers back on the road with safety that lasts. Find your tire at MichelinMan.com. Michelin, a better way forward.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way. Nice.
Now get up to 25% off select major appliances at Lowe's.
Mondays, only the Weather Channel takes you this far, inside a hurricane.
It's just total chaos.
If you think you've seen it all, look again.
You've got to be kidding me.
A new original series, Hurricane 360, Mondays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with light rain. Today, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 78. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, premiering October 5th on the Weather Channel.
29 minutes after the hour, and you're looking right now at a building where there was smoke reported this morning. An FAA facility shut down, and 15 to 30 people were evacuated this morning, and that has caused havoc in the skies. All flights and into and out of Chicago area airports, and that's a large scale area that was handled by this office, this FAA office, have been shut down. We're now seeing a trickling of flights in, and just 1 or 2 flights have made it out this morning. Agents from the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and the FBI are on the scene at the FAA Center in Aurora, as well as members of the DuPage County Arson Task Force. We say that because there have been many reports, conflicting reports, coming out of there this morning that there was indeed a fire, that one person was treated for smoke inhalation, that one person was treated for self-inflicted injuries. There have also been reports that were sent into NBC News that this fire may have been intentionally set. We have no knowledge or information about the cause of the fire, but what we can tell you is agents from the ATF and the FBI are on the scene of that FAA Center in Aurora this morning. Now let's concentrate on, I know you want to know whether or not you're getting into the skies today or getting home wherever you're going.
You know, thankfully, Chicago's weather is fantastic. We are seeing some weather slowdowns at Detroit because of fog, but also thunderstorms in the southeast. And Mike, you know, we have a lot of weather happening right now.
We're going to get to Ray Strasser, with WSI. It's our parent company, and they handle a lot of aviation weather. And he's a VP of Met Services there at WSI. Ray, are you with us this morning? Roy, are you with us?
Sam.
Hi, how are you, sir?
Yes,
I'm sorry, I just called you Ray. So we're looking, Roy, what we're looking for is any kind of information that we can get that might help people who are kind of stranded there. So I know we have that ground stop that was up for several hours in that area. We also have some weather issues at some airports. Miami has some weather going on. So how does that cascade to the area airports that are even dealing with some slowdowns because of weather this morning?
Some of the weather that's in some of the places like Miami or San Francisco can have a minor impact on a center in the middle of the country, especially for transcontinental flights. But in general, it's really the work that comes to the controllers. The workloads are adjusted mostly by the weather that in the handoff process. So if the center to the west of Aurora Center, that's the one that handles Chicago, is impacted by something like thunderstorms or severe turbulence, that sort of thing, then that is what will cause additional workload to the Aurora Center. Right now, we're not seeing that being a problem for at least the next couple days, really in good weather situation right now.
No, I mean, thankfully, we've got perfect weather in that area right now. As a matter of fact, there would be no weather-related delays or no reason to expect one anywhere in that part of the country. It's so absolutely beautiful and a little bit warmer than normal. You can see the shot of the blue skies there. But now, in a situation like this, Roy, I mean, this is what you guys do. You're in contact with them all the time. So is there any reason to believe that they can get these flights back up and running on time and get people going, you know, by tonight, by tomorrow? Do we have any of you talked to anybody that's giving you an indication of that?
We work directly with a number of large airlines, and their schedules are being impacted. But right now, there's very little information because of that crime scene. So they're really keeping everybody out of the center. But we understand that some of the adjacent centers are taking some of the workload away from Aurora Center, and that's why we do have some flights working in the area. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on the crime scene itself, because that's really the main reason why they're being impacted, to why they cannot handle flights as they normally do in that center.
And Roy, while we've got you on the phone, any other hot spots that are going on out there today that may cause trouble for travelers, just while we've got you?
No, other than what you named in the Miami sector areas, we're really good down to what they call the waters routes from the western part of the Atlantic into the Caribbean. It's really it's a great day for flying, other than this technology area issue.
Okay, and you know, Roy, one of my big problems in thinking about this has been we see the flights on the SkyTracker map on the East Coast just humming along really well. There seem to be high volume flights that are running anywhere from Boston to New York all the way into Philly. DC seems to be very active right now. Norfolk looks active. Charlotte's not looking too busy right now, but all the way into Atlanta gets very, very active. And then when I see Miami, Fort Myers, and even Fort Lauderdale looks active. Are any of these East Coast flights, if they're not impacted, if the planes are not going to Chicago or didn't come from Chicago, will these routes be working on time?
Right. So they will. The airlines themselves try to separate those kind of things. So there's, they will try to keep East Coast equipment and aircraft and schedules as much as they can separated from anything that would be